If a woman is single for a long time, like 2 years, 3 years or more, it ain't because something's wrong with her, most likely. More than likely it's because she's intelligent. And that's not to say women who are in relationships or marriages or that get in these relationships quickly are just dumb. What I'm saying is intelligent women, they have the smallest dating pool because they have the least amount of tolerance for BS. Like an intelligent woman cannot stomach a man who can't teach her anything. And because she's intelligent, there are very few men who can. An intelligent woman can't tolerate a man that can't mentally stimulate her or that she has to explain every little thing to. An intelligent woman, she's the most likely to be insulted by a man who thinks that he can play in her face like she's dumb. So they ain't gonna last. And then add to the fact that, yes, she's intelligent, so therefore she gathers information and she acts on it more effectively than most, which means she's not gonna continue repeating the same bad relationship over and over again with a different man for years on end. She'd just rather be single. And then intelligent women perform better in the job market and have more successful businesses, so they're the least likely to depend on the man to be their meal ticket. But what I really love about these women is that they're also not easily rattled by that whole, oh, you gonna die alone. You gonna be single until you die, because they're smart enough to understand it's better to be happy until you die alone than to live miserably every single day feeling like you're dying inside. When a man is unhappy with himself, he will project that onto any woman that tries to love him. He'll literally ruin her happiness because he can't find his own. He may be attracted to her light, but then he's going to try to dim it if he's afraid to work on his own darkness. Or he may be drawn to how well she keeps herself up, but then let his insecurities push her away because he realizes he can't keep up. Or at first he may be attracted to her ambition, but then he's going to try to sabotage everything she works on because it's outpacing his complacency. And this is why it is dangerous for a woman to be the recovery girl for a broken man. If he hasn't healed, he'll use your patience as his pain medication. Meaning, knowingly or unknowingly, he will leverage your empathy to escape the emotional rehab that he's been avoiding. And as you look for ways to fix him, he'll find new ways to break you. So while everybody deserves a chance to heal, you gotta make sure your kind heart doesn't cause you to become a bandage for a man who's only making you bleed. Once she's detached, there is no coming back. You will never get the same version of her again, because that bond is broken and her lesson has been learned, especially if she's trained her mind to be stronger than her feelings and her boundaries to be stronger than her empathy. Yeah, she's not relearning that lesson that she can't be your emotional escape while you escape emotional growth. And she's not relearning the lesson that if she's got to fight for your attention, it's really not worth it to win your heart. So she's now put the gloves down so she can pick her crown up. Because for what you're trying to do, you just met her a little too late. Like there was a younger, more naive version of her that was giving guys do-overs who wouldn't do right, but this version of her is not second guessing her worth just because you weren't smart enough to put her first. And that old version of her would go on and on explaining what you did wrong so you could just say the words that she needed to hear. But this version of her ain't about to teach you how to give or wait on an apology. She just made peace without it because you mistook her attachment to you for codependence on you, thinking that she would never leave. And now she's leaving you on red. Now you're the one wondering who she's with and what she's doing when she's ignoring your calls. Now you're the one she only replies to if she's bored enough. And I know that sounds cold-hearted, but she's not cold. She just closed the revolving door of your attempts to manipulate her again. So play victim all you want, but you know that you only played yourself by taking a girl who only wanted to love you and being another lesson she had to learn about loving a man who had to lose her first to realize her worth. Better luck next time with someone else. A guarded woman is the most misunderstood woman in the world, because a lot of people are gonna call her bitter and unhealed and maybe even stuck up because of how slow she is to let a man in, but it ain't like she just woke up one day and chose to be like that. Like, she's guarded because she's used to men whose effort is contingent on their infatuation with her. And once she opened up and showed that she had flaws and that infatuation left, so did the consistency. Like, she's guarded because she's used to men who could fulfill her flesh, but would leave her heart starving for more than the breadcrumbs that they were offering. Or because they would enjoy her peaceful spirit, but could do nothing to protect it because they weren't at peace with themselves. She's guarded because she's never the one to break her own heart, but she's always the one left to pick up the pieces to it, alone. So again, it ain't like she just wants it to be that way, but that guard that she has that everybody shames her for is the only thing that's proven to keep her safe, in place of the men who came along and promised to but couldn't. Bruh, y'all ruin the calmest women and then call them crazy when they react. But pushing somebody over and over again to the edge until they finally go over, that's not crazy. That's cause and effect. That girl came into the relationship whole, and you fragmented her with partial truths. And she started off with plenty of patience, but you mistook that as a permission slip to play in her face. Now she's unhinged because she showed you playtime was over. Maybe she did come in with some triggers from her past trauma, but you kept pulling those triggers until she finally exploded. And I'm not saying it's cool that she disrespected you, but let's not pretend that was a coincidence when the truth is you first lost her respect by allowing other women to disrespect the relationship, meanwhile making her look dumb for being out here speaking highly of you as if you're a respectable man. And the irony is, she tried to avoid letting things get to this point where you could label her as the toxic one. Like, she stayed quiet, but you ignored her. She spoke up respectfully when something didn't feel right, and you invalidated her. But then she finally started speaking the language of, you got her effed up, and you want to call that crazy? Nah, that's consequences. Because if you subject any woman to constant mixed signals, manipulation, betrayals, and emotional neglect, it don't matter how sane she starts off. She's going to snap. Because even the most serene lake is going to create waves if you throw enough stones. So before you go lying about your psycho ex, just know that mental and emotional condition that you left her in was never her true colors. That was your masterpiece of her reasonable reaction to your unreasonable treatment. Nah, fam, you were never the victim of her brokenness. You were the architect of it.